Good morning and a warm welcome to your show, Sunny Mornings in San Diego. I'm your host, Melissa, and it's Wednesday, June 12th. Coming up on today's show, we'll get into the surf report and the weather outlook. Then we'll jump into some local news and a few interesting happenings in business, science, and entertainment. But first, you'll be interested to know 85 years ago, today in 1939. The Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, held its first induction ceremony, with Babe Ruth, Cobb, and Honus Wagner among the inaugural class. In the first Baseball Writers Association of America Hall of Fame election in 1936, Cobb, Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Babe Ruth, and Honus Wagner were chosen. This voting process, which considered players whose careers began after 1900, sparked national debate, particularly due to unexpected votes against Cobb and Ruth. This historic event solidified the significance of being a Hall of Famer. So now you know. And now you know what time it is. It's time for the surf report. Expect a new southwest swell building through midweek, with waist to shoulder high waves and larger at standout spots. Mornings will have light and variable wind, trending onshore by midday with manageable afternoon conditions. Wednesday at Tourmaline and South San Diego. It's looking fair in the morning at 4 to 5 feet before 11 a.m. and choppy in the afternoon. One of the best mornings we've seen in a while, though. Get up there early. Best time to ride is at 7 a.m. with a 1.5-foot outgoing tide, when the west-northwest swell is 2.5 feet at 17 seconds, and the onshore wind is 4 miles per hour. The first low tide Wednesday will be 1 foot at 8:45 a.m., with a 4-foot high tide just after 4. The nearshore buoy at Scripps in La Jolla reads 66 degrees for the water temperature. Checking out the weather in the San Diego area. This morning it's foggy and feels like 62 degrees, with 2 mile per hour wind. The sunset will take place at 7:57, and it will rise again tomorrow at 5:40. It looks like we're in for some patchy drizzle before 8 a.m. and patchy fog before 11. Otherwise, mostly sunny, with a high near 72 and west wind of 5 to 10 mile per hour. Tonight, it'll be cloudy with a low around 60. Looking ahead in the weather. Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high near 71 after morning fog clears. Friday will be mostly cloudy in the morning, clearing up to sunny with a high near 72 after morning fog clears. This weekend will be mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. Bonjour, food enthusiasts. This podcast is brought to you by Versailles Cafe and Pastries in Encinitas. Nestled on El Camino Real South, just north of Encinitas Boulevard, this cafe is a haven for culinary delights. Indulge in their amazing Eggs Benedict or their gluten-free crepes. You can grab a panini for lunch or just breeze on through to get your morning coffee. They are open every day from 8 to 5. So stop on by and don't forget to tell them Sunny Morning sent you. In local news, the Encinitas Planning Commission approved a new 2-story restaurant at the former Beachside Bar and Grill. The project includes a 1,500-square-foot second-story patio, ground floor outdoor seating, and amplified music for up to 4 musicians. The restaurant will have a second-floor patio that closes earlier than the ground floor patio. Noise levels will be monitored with decibel meters, and the establishment will encourage public transportation use. The project also plans to add landscaping around the building. Now on to sports. Kristaps Porziņģis has a torn medial retinaculum, causing tendon instability, putting his NBA Finals availability at risk. The injury suffered during Game 2 could limit his lateral movement and shot contesting. The Celtics, leading the series 2-0, may rely more on Al Horford, who might see increased minutes. Coach Joe Mazzulla will decide Porziņģis' status with medical staff before Game 3 tonight. His absence would impact Boston's offensive spacing and defensive strategy. Last night in local sports, the Padres at home beat the Athletics 4-3. And this afternoon, the Padres end their homestand at Petco Park with the final game of the series against the A's. After that, they head out to the East Coast for a 3-game series with the Mets, starting Friday. In top news, Johnson & Johnson will pay $700 million to settle a lawsuit with 42 states accused of misleading customers about the safety of its talc-based baby powder. The product, discontinued in 2023, was found to sometimes contain asbestos, leading to cancer. The Johnson & Johnson has not admitted guilt. It now uses cornstarch in its baby powder. The settlement still requires judicial approval, and they face many more lawsuits related to its talc products. In business news, the proposed sale of Paramount Global to David Ellison's Skydance Media collapsed due to the withdrawal of support from Shari Redstone, the controlling shareholder. Despite months of negotiations and reaching an agreement on financial terms, the deal fell apart because of disagreements over shareholder voting rights and cash distribution. Paramount will continue under its current leadership, exploring other opportunities as Redstone keeps her options open amid interest from other potential buyers. In crypto movement, Bitcoin is just over $67,000. Ethereum is $3,500. And Solana is $151. Moving on to a more local vibe. In our community spotlight on health and wellness, we are working with a national Pilates studio to bring you some free classes, so listen up. Check out Club Pilates, with several locations in the San Diego area. Pilates presents a comprehensive wellness approach, cultivating strength, reducing tension, and elevating mental well-being. Scientific research affirms its benefits. So now you can check out Club Pilates for a free class, with locations in Encinitas, Solana Beach, Oceanside, La Jolla, and more. Just be sure to tell them Sunny Morning sent you by. And now, back to the show. Let's talk science. MIT researchers have developed a supercapacitor from water, cement, and carbon black, creating a new way to store energy inside modified concrete. Though supercapacitors charge and discharge quickly, they're less energy-dense than lithium-ion batteries. Potential applications include roads that wirelessly charge cars and building materials that store energy. Currently, the technology can only power a 10-watt LED for 30 hours, but scaling up could allow it to meet residential energy needs. Challenges include scaling the technology for wider deployment due to manufacturing complexities and resource scarcities. And in entertainment news, The Boys, Season 4 debuts on Prime Video tomorrow, with the first 3 episodes followed by weekly releases until July 18th. Critics have mixed views on whether the show remains fresh, but agree that it delivers for die-hard fans. Season 4 is noted to be darker, more political, and still funny, with strong performances. There are no major issues reported, and prior viewing of Gen V isn't necessary. The show's boldness, bloodiness, and humor continue to impress, though it's bleaker than previous seasons. Well, alrighty folks, it's time for the quote of the day. And today, our quote comes from the Sultan of Swat, Babe Ruth. And he said, As soon as I got out there, I felt a strange relationship with the pitcher's mound. It was as if I'd been born out there. Pitching just felt like the most natural thing in the world. And striking out batters was easy. And that's a wrap for this morning. You can check out our Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for some captivating aerial videos with local news and the surf reports. Have an amazing day, my good friends. We'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Sunny Mornings in San Diego.